Hi everybody, and welcome to the end of week 5, in which you have quite a few things due. So I hope that um, you're not only starting to enjoy Halloween, but also have an idea of what's upcoming for Saturday and Sunday. I just finished going through the majority of your discussion boards, and I just wanted to comment on the high quality of those discussion boards. You did an excellent job in not only crafting your original post, but also posting thoughtful and constructive responses to others. Things that I noticed in the discussion boards. Most of you touched on the issue of, at a local level, how qualitative work is very useful for yourself, for informing your own practice, informing your own teaching, and tended to consider quantitative work and quantitative data as something that's more important to a school or a district or state level. I do think there's a way to meet things in the middle in terms of there are a number of instruments that teachers can use at a local level, not just test scores, but other things about student attitudes, beliefs, and things like that, that can help you directly think about how the students in your class are experiencing your class, your mathematics classroom, whatever it might be. Of course, I think this is not enough. It's important to coordinate that with thinking about how you are impacting students at an individual level. And that often entails conversations, interviews, a really in-depth understanding of their experience, which just cannot be captured with a quantitative instrument. In any case, I think you've done a fantastic job of describing the affordances and the constraints of both types of approaches, and in many cases thought about how to integrate both of them into your classroom. As you'll notice, as you start compiling a synthesis of your literature, many of these articles take one approach to the other. There aren't as many that talk about a coordinated way to look at qualitative and quantitative data. So as you start compiling your annotated bibliography and descriptions of your articles, I do want you to consider not only what question were they asking and what their results were, but how did they come to those results? What method did they use? What type of data did they gather? Because as you start crafting your literature review, it will be important to think about synthesizing the work, not just summarizing. And by synthesis, I mean you need to identify themes, patterns, ways in which articles cohere with each other. And a literature review must make an argument, as I've mentioned a few times. So what does this mean? It means that you need to write your literature review for a purpose. It needs to make some overarching claim about the literature, and as you draw on the different articles, it needs to support that overall claim. So as you're doing this, you really need to consider how the articles either create a similar message or how perhaps they create conflicting messages. Because as you do this, your overall argument is going to be shaped by the messages that each article is intending to convey. As we move into next week, we'll be starting to think about validity and reliability, which also look very interesting in terms of qualitative and quantitative data. As we move forward into next week, I also want to make sure that you are well aware that the term will end quickly. It's a few weeks, it's only a short 4 weeks away after that. And you need to be working on your literature reviews, to be thinking about the issues associated with them. We have a lot of things built into the class so that you can do that. At the same time, I want to make sure that if you're confused or feeling a little bit lost as to where you need to be, that you talk to Allison or I and make sure we're on the same page as we move forward. With that, I hope you have a great Halloween, have fun, eat some candy, and we'll be in touch later this weekend or early next week. Bye.